Hey y'all, today we're making a crock-pot chicken noodle soup. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to need to do is get our vegetables ready. Now, I know what some of y'all are already thinking, why was there corn in your chicken noodle soup? Well, because I put corn in my chicken noodle soup. That's why it was in there, y'all. But I know that corn is not something that we normally put in chicken noodle soup, and this recipe calls for corn. So I actually did not make this recipe up. This is not an original recipe. When at Christmas for my family, at Thanksgiving, we do a traditional like turkey dressing, all the things. So by Christmas, we're over it. I don't want turkey and dressing again. And so we always do something a little bit different at Christmas. Now, normally we do a gumbo, and we did do gumbo, like me and my kids. My son-in-law made gumbo. And if y'all want a gumbo video, let me know. I'll make y'all one. But normally we do gumbo or something like that. But this year my sister hosted Christmas. And so when we went to her house, she had made 2 big pots of this. And I was thinking, like some of y'all probably were, sister girl, why did you put corn in this chicken noodle soup? But I was like, okay, I'm gonna trust, okay? So let me tell you, about 2 bites in, every one of us was wanting the recipe. This stuff is so dang good. And I actually came home and made this just a couple of days after we had this at her house, because that's how good it was, y'all. So what you're going to need to do is dice up some carrot. I used 3 carrots. I cut up, I had prepped 4 because I wasn't sure how many I was going to need, but I ended up using 3 carrots, 2 stalks of celery, and an onion, okay? So you need about a cup of each one of these in case you're somebody that does it, gets it pre-diced, or if you like prep stuff ahead of time or whatever. So about a cup of each one of these vegetables is what you'll need. And I do have a regular chicken noodle soup video. Chicken noodle soup recipe and video. I'll link that one up above and down below for y'all if you need just a simple chicken noodle soup recipe, and it's really, really good, and it's real quick to throw together. But this crock pot one, oh my God, throw it all in there and don't even have to think about it anymore. So once you get your vegetables all prepped up, you're going to go ahead and add you about 2 tablespoons of butter to your pan and saute your vegetables. Now, y'all don't worry about that Band-Aid that's on my wrist right there. Nothing is wrong except for I got bit by a darn spider. Okay, spider bite. Yep. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to me. I did tell my grandkids, though, that I felt my spidey senses tingling and that I might start swinging from a web, but I never did, and to be honest, I was a little disappointed. But, whatever. So you're going to let your vegetables saute. Don't cook them all the way down because you are going to cook them in the crock pot for a few hours, but you need to cook them until at least your carrots start to get kind of soft, because carrots take forever to cook. Y'all know, if you've ever cooked carrots, they take forever to cook. So while those are over there sauteing, to my crock pot, I'm going to add 2 cans of cream of chicken soup. Now, that's what the recipe calls for, and I did have it on hand, but if you don't, you could use cream of celery, you could use cream of mushroom. Just know that it may change the flavor just a little bit, especially the cream of celery. Okay, then you're going to add in 5 cups of chicken broth. So I added 1 whole box because it's 4 cups in one of these boxes. And then I just poured a little bit into one of my soup cans, and that was my 5th cup. It doesn't have to be, look, I poured it everywhere actually, but it doesn't have to be exact. So just get it in there the best way you can. And I actually ended up using a total of 8 cups of chicken broth, because when I added my noodles, I wasn't paying attention and I added too many noodles. So I did end up, I didn't add like overly too many noodles. I just added a little bit more. I didn't measure them. Okay. I didn't measure them. Y'all know I didn't measure them. So I just checked on mine and thought I needed to add a little more, and I did. But you'll see that in a minute. Anyway, then you're going to add in about 1/4 cup of evaporated milk. Now, if you don't have evaporated milk, honey, use some heavy whipping cream, use some regular milk, whatever. It's 1/4 cup. It's not going to make that much of a difference, okay? So once our vegetables are all sauteed, and for some reason or somehow, probably because it's me and I'm about half crazy, I cut out the corn part, but I did drain a can of corn and add that in here. Just a regular old can of corn, drain the juice off, dump it over in there. Once your vegetables are sauteed, add those in there too, okay? And then you're gonna need some chicken. Now, you need cooked chicken. So I always get like big packs of chicken like from Walmart or Sam's or whatever, and I trim them up and I throw them in the crock pot and let them cook. And that way I can throw it in the freezer, and I always have shredded chicken when I need it. But if you don't have that or you don't want to do that, you can always grill a chicken breast or some chicken, cut that up and put it in there. You can use a rotisserie chicken. Whatever you want, you need about the equivalent of 3 chicken breasts, okay? And if you don't like breast meat, use thighs. Use whatever, about 3. About 3 cups, actually. I use 3 big handfuls because you know I didn't measure that either. So anyway, you're going to add that in there, get it all mixed up, and then we're going to put a little seasoning on it. Now, I already seasoned my chicken, so, you know, keep that in mind when you're like, ooh, she did not season this soup. Yes, I did. Mind your business. Anyway, so I added in some garlic powder, some onion powder, and some salt and pepper. Now, my soup was like the heart healthy or whatever, so it's a low sodium, and my chicken broth was low sodium. So I had to add maybe a little bit more salt than I normally would have, but everything in here is cooked, so you can taste it. Once you add your seasonings, taste it and make sure it tastes good, you know, and then you can just let it cook. Or you can wait till it gets all warm, you know, whatever. But please taste your stuff, because you don't want to be serving people tasteless soup. So get all that added in, mix it up. Then we're going to put this, well, it's already in our crock pot. We're going to turn it on low and let it cook for about 3 to 4 hours, okay? After 3 or 4 hours, we're going to take the lid off and we're going to add in our noodles. Now, I didn't cut the camera on because I'm about half crazy, but I added about half this bag, or a little more than half of that bag of noodles. And so I checked mine. You're going to cut it up on high, let it cook for another hour after you add the noodles. But I knew I had added a little bit too many noodles, so after 30 minutes I checked mine, and I just added the rest of the chicken broth. So total for me, 8 cups of chicken broth. Still turns out super, super creamy. If you want more juice, add more. You can just do it however you want to do it, okay? But you're going to need at least the 5 cups. You know what I'm saying? So that's it, y'all. Let it cook another hour with them noodles to get ready, and you're done. Super, super simple. This recipe is so good, y'all. Even the kids just loved this soup. It is so, so good. And it's great, great leftovers too. So if you're looking for a good chicken soup recipe for the crock pot, this is it. All right, that is all I've got for y'all today. I will catch y'all on the next one. Bye, y'all.